Hi, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to wherever you're watching all over the world. That's all, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is your host, this is your guy again. You know what time it is. Those of you that are in England, or London, England, or Birmingham, England, Manchester, England, the whole of the UK, or the whole of the England. You're watching me. I'm bringing you more football context, and that's live on this video, on this platform that we call YouTube. I've got what's been said about the hierarchy that what was I going to say? Yeah, the Watford hierarchy said that their efforts were not good enough due to the fact that they've been relegated, Watford, as a football club. Bournemouth are seeking to meet up with the FA to discuss Hawkeye. I know Riley has called for VAR to be reviewed. And according to Barcelona playmaker Philippe Coutinho, he wants more time on his future and to make a decision on his future, that is. So let's start off with Watford, and it states here that our efforts are not good enough, and that's coming from Watford as a football club. The Watford hierarchy have said their efforts surrounding the team were not good enough following the Hornets' relegation from the Premier League on the final day of the season. Watford's 5-year top flight stay ended after a 3-2 loss at Arsenal and Aston Villa's draw against West Ham. In a chaotic campaign, the club had 4 different managers. In a joint statement, owner Gino Pozzo and chief executive Scott Duxbury expressed great disappointment. And Troy Deeney has had his say, and he said that they've cost jobs. So for the tea lady, the teaman, the guy who sells programs, etc., they're going to have to face the reality of having a pay cut. That's what it's going to come down to. Relegation costs so much money for any football club, and Watford are knowing about it right now as we speak. Their performances on the pitch, has been nothing but woeful, and for the players, it's devastated. It's devastating. Just look at Ismail Assar, Gomez in tears, Deeney extremely disappointed. It hurts them, but obviously Deeney cares from the heart. He's the one that I pick out in the spotlight because he cares from the heart. He knows what it's all about. He gets playing for Watford. You go back to the playoff semi-final epic clash with Leicester. Anthony Nuckart missing that penalty, and less than a minute later, Troy Deeney goes up the other end and scores the winning goal. Pandemonium at Vicarage Road was unbelievable. I've not seen a scene like that at that ground ever. That was the best moment of a playoff game I've seen. The best moment at Vicarage Road for me is Troy Deeney's winning goal, and the emotion, the pandemonium that came with it. It was like, wow. I remember seeing that on my TV. I'm like, fucking hell, did that just happen? Wow. The pandemonium, the emotion. Oh, to be a Watford fan that day in the terraces, I'll tell you. Wow, that was something out of an extraordinary moment. And I think that was the moment that got Watford into the Premier League. Troy Deeney scoring that winning goal. And Anthony Nuckart must have been sick as a pig. He misses the penalty. They go up the other end. And Almunia played his part in that. And what a part he played. Would him or how many thousands of Watford fans that day, and the Leicester fans included that day, had thought Troy Deeney would have gone up the other end and nicked a winner within under a minute, seconds. Well, to that day till now, they've just suffered relegation from the Premier League to the Championship, and like I said, the reality for the staff is going to be tough. You know, pay cuts for the catering staff. I said the tea lady, the program seller, the tea man, those that work in the club shop. It's, you know, it is going to be tough, and there'll be no Arsenal fan TV outside Vicarage Road, that's for sure. Without being a little bit cheeky. So, Watford fans, I don't know. I can't tell you how you're feeling. If you want to have a conversation, a chat, I'm here. Just drop your comment. Just say what you want to say, and now let's have a chat on my comment section below, and I'll be reading and replying back to you as much as I can. So, moving on in other news, Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth Football Club will later meet this week to discuss the possibility of pursuing a compensation claim against Hawkeye, and this is all to do with Aston Villa's match with Sheffield United, where Sheffield United could have had them 3 points and they would have pushed up for at least the top 7, but they end up finishing 9th. And those 3 points could have been a key. And you talk about fine margins, and Bournemouth have come out and publicly stated that they would like to pursue a claim against Hawkeye. Now, I haven't read too much about it, but there may have been decisions along the road before their relegation was confirmed from the Premiership to the Championship, just like Watfords. I think the football club wants to pursue a compensation claim, and they've got Eddie Howe's future on their mind. And like I said in my yesterday's video, they may want to pursue another direction, and possibly Eddie Howe not being part of that. And now you got them pursuing a claim against Hawkeye. I've not read too much about it. I can't really discuss about that one, but that's to be concluded. Let's see if I can find anything on BBC Interactive. No, I can't. Not as such. Don't think there's any rumours of such that I can find. Nope. Well, I can tell you by what's come out of the Mail is Eddie Howe will hold talks with the club's hierarchy within 48 hours to discuss a decision over his future within the expected coming weeks or end of this week. If you're Eddie Howe, do you decide to resign or risk being told that your service to requirement is no longer needed? Or service to requirement, or something like your time at the club has suddenly come to an end, and we're going to be moving to another direction. And we thank you so much for your hard work. Or it starts off with, we thank you so much for your hard work. We appreciate everything you've done. However, we are moving into another direction, Mr. Howe. So it's time to say goodbye. Well, but Bournemouth fans, would you want Eddie Howe to remain at your club for next season, or do you move on altogether without Eddie Howe? Drop it in the comment section below. Right, moving on to my next piece of news, and that involves Arsenal and their pursuit and whatever it is. They are looking at Coutinho. I mean, he's a fine playmaker. I think it's fair to say that it all went downhill for him as he decided to leave Liverpool. Klopp wanted to keep him, but he didn't want him to stay. So he decided, let me go to Barcelona. It appealed to him. Well, it appealed to him that he did not play enough games for Barcelona. It appealed to him that the midfield they had, he was not going to get into the first team. It appealed to him that it made sense to go out on loan to Bayern Munich, but did it appeal to him that he's barely featured for Bayern Munich and made cameo substitutes appearances. So for me, Coutinho has to make a big decision. And Arsenal only need the creativity, and Coutinho is a no-brainer. He is a top-class midfielder, world-class midfielder, proven world-class midfielder. You only have to look at his time at Liverpool, and there were times where he carried the team on his shoulders because he was that phenomenal. That one particular season or two particular seasons, he was that phenomenal. And Arsenal getting a player like that will be very uplifting to the spirit of the dressing room, very uplifting amongst the hierarchy in that club, and definitely very uplifting for the millions of Arsenal supporters like myself. Getting Coutinho at Arsenal in an Arsenal shirt, no brainer. Let's try and get this deal done on a permanent basis. We can cough up the money. We don't need to even think about coughing up the money. Let's get the man, and let's enjoy watching Arsenal perform in midfield where we've been successful over the years. And Coutinho fits that platform for me. And at the same time, I mean, I know Arteta is a massive fan of the younger academy graduates such as Saka, Willock. He even wants to bring in Emil Rose-Smith back and work with him. In Arteta, I do trust. As long as the board back him, I will trust Arteta for as long as the board or Stan Kroenke decides to pull his finger out of his butthole and help back Mikel Arteta. Yes, I'm shouting at you, Stan Kroenke. Like millions of Arsenal fans should be doing. Forget your franchise, forget your whatever it is that you're trying to pursue. It's time to back this football club. I just thought I'd get that one in there. So, ladies, to the gentlemen, to the boys, to the girls, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. And once again, thank you for putting up with me. Do apologise my use of language earlier on in this video. I apologise in advance. And I will not apologise for shouting at Stan Kroenke. I want to get as extremely personal with him as much as possible, although I risk having my channel closed down, so he's not worth it. So once again, peace, bless, and support and love again, yeah? I'll be back this afternoon with more football context, yeah? Thank you once again. Laters.